on a live stream, and tonight I'm going to propose you to get a bus together with you, you virtually, and I will take a bus in a real life. So then we go along the garden ring, one of the main roads around the center of Moscow. And right now I'm coming up to the bus stop. This is a bus stop, and the road ring, garden ring or Sadovoe кольцо, it goes that direction. Tonight I am again going to the class of theater skills in the theater of New Opera in Moscow. So I'm going to take my favorite bus, and it's not my favorite bus in terms of regularity, because it's the bus, it goes around the ring only, so it covers the center of Moscow, and as far as I live not in the center of Moscow, but I like this bus as it has a rich history. It has some special name. The name of the bus is funny and lovely. It's called, because of some historical facts, it's called small insect and the letter B. B letter in Russian sounds the same as in English, but it looks differently. It's also the second letter in the Russian alphabet. Probably you know that Russian alphabet is called Kirillitsa or Cyrillic, and we have B letter as the second letter as in Latin alphabet, but we write down B letter a little bit different, and the word bukashka, which means a small insect, it's the funny or not official name of this bus. Some time ago, probably it was 100 years ago, the Moscow garden ring already existed at that time, but that was not a bus, but it was a tram. A tram 100 years ago, and later on it was trolleybus, then tram again, and around 10 years ago they made bus, electricity bus. So they refused the trolleybuses, unfortunately. I liked the trolleybuses, but they got rid of them, the trolleybuses. When we will take on the B bus, I will be silent, as I am a little bit shy about speaking English at public places. That's why I will just make the camera outside of the bus to show you the streets we will pass by. This is our bus. You see B bus. One more B bus. Let's take this one. I will put my ticket and take a seat. I will go on the last row, not road. And then I put the camera to show you the streets. So we are going around the center of Moscow, and I guess that our way will take about 20 minutes by bus from the place I work in the office on the Taganskaya Square, and we will go until the bus stop called Karetny Ryad. Karetny Ryad is the street coming to the garden ring as many other streets coming to the same ring around the Moscow center. I guess that sometimes the view out of the bus will be interesting for you, or maybe sometimes it's just the normal city life, not that interesting as we may think. Anyway, we have summer weather, and you see a lot of people are enjoying beautiful weather we are having at the moment. And right now it's 6:30 p.m. and it's the end of the working day. That's why people are leaving their works and go home or go for a walk or take some time outside, going for sports. You see, just a couple of days ago we noticed that all the trees, like cherry trees, started blooming, and I'm not aware of the name of the tree. We call it черемуха. It's not only bloom, but also it flavors a lot. Some sculptures that way. There is a restaurant in that building. It's called a sleeve, rukav in Russian, sleeve in English. I don't know why. I know why. The owner of this restaurant, his surname is like Sleevish or something. And he has a collection of sculptures and some pieces of art. That's why there are sculptures nearby. Right now we will, just in a minute, we will cross the Yauze Street. You remember the Yauze Street? I showed you many times the Yauze River. The Yauze River is the river where I live on the northeast of Moscow, and the Yauze River, I run along the Yauze River every morning, and sometimes I show you the Yauze River. But at this place, the Yauze River is put in two sides of walls, and it looks differently than on the northeast of Moscow. If you have any question, please ask or tell me hello. You see a girl, she's running to take a bus. She's lucky to catch the bus. Again, some sculpture, metallic. It's the horse with wings. In my opinion, Moscow is a green city. There are a lot of parks and green places. This place is a strange fitness gym place on the Sadovoe ring, on the garden ring, and people who go in for gym, they are doing their exercises and put their eyes on the road. I cannot understand that, but anyway. I wish that you comment my video or ask questions. Thus I know that I do it for some reason or for the interest of what viewers. This square is the square near one of the main railway station. It's called Kursky railway station, and just in front of us we see a big trade center. A big trade center and some buildings around. The metro station Kurskaya, it's a big, or even several stations, they are cross like a crossroad of three lines of Moscow metro. And this is a building of the trade center. It's called Atrium. It's quite popular. I mean, the trade center is it's located in the city center.
Метро Курская.
The buildings along the garden ring, they are mostly old buildings from the Soviet Union time, and we go, I mean by bus, we are going on the external side of the ring, and there are also the buildings with some unique architecture on the internal side of the road or of the ring. You see that the pedestrian part is quite wide. Some years ago it was not that wide. It was narrower, and once they changed the trolleybuses of B-route for a bus at the same time or the same year, they made the pedestrian part of the road or of the ring wider. You see how wide it is. Again, one fitness or gym place, and people, they are looking on the road. I have no idea why. For me, it's not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea at all to go in for gym or into a fitness place and watching the road. But I guess that they like it. You see that many people inside. The ping pong hall. Last week my son made a ping pong
Улица Казакова.
rocket himself out of the wood. Just in a minute we will see the antique shop. I would like you to show as the antique shop I went in 6 months ago, and sculptures. I hope sometime I will go in the antique shop. We will pass by in a couple of minutes and I will show you the collection of Soviet art or some unique antique stuff. What about the weather in the place you live? Please write down in the comment section if you watch this stream later on in the recording. The trees and the leaves are so beautiful, are in so beautiful young and fresh green color. I like this street as it leads to the old and atmospheric part of Moscow.
Площадь Земляной вал.
Some reconstruction process.
Следующая остановка – Институт глазных болезней. Театр «Русская песня».
And by the way, the antique shop must be somewhere here, but I cannot see it. I will show you my face as we stopped for a few minutes. There is a traffic jam, and I hope that I will be in time. As I was told by the organizers of the lesson that it's only possible to go inside the theater just 10 minutes past 7. So I have 30 minutes left and we need to go for around 3 or 4 kilometers and then I need to walk a little bit to get to the theater. And there is a traffic jam. I see it. I wonder where is the antique shop, as it must be in this building. Dental opera. The name intriguing. No, the antique shop, it would be the next building. I see. I confused the buildings. As from the bus, they all look the same. By the way, you see how beautiful the decoration of all these old buildings are. The decoration on the top and just in a minute I will show you. You see the traffic jam. the traffic jam. Please write down your questions, or at least what city and what country are you from, and what weather, what kind of weather do you have right now? Antique shop.
Институт глазных болезней.
Antique shop.
Театр «Русская песня».
It's just called Antique Saloon. Antique Saloon. And you see, it works until 7:30.
Следующая остановка – метро «Красные ворота».
And
При
Sunday
выходе не забывайте свои вещи. О забытых вещах не трогай их. Сообщайте водителю.
they have beautiful collection of Soviet miniature sculptures. Just in a minute we will come to the square where one of the Seven Sisters is located. You probably remember that I showed you, or at least I told you about the Moscow skyscrapers. There are 7 of them, and they are called Seven Sisters. And some video I made, and or you could watch the video by other creators about Moscow skyscrapers, Seven Sisters, and one of them is just 1 minute. In 1 minute we will see it. I will show you. And this one is the building. The owner of it is the Ministry of Transport, as the Moscow skyscrapers, they are administrative buildings or hotels or even some ministries. And actually this is the area, this is a big area where our railway monopoly is located. There are a lot of buildings around here, and all of them, they belong to the railway company. Somehow in Russia there is no competition and no other railway company besides the Russian railways, and that's why we have expensive tickets for railway. The service is quite good, we like it. I mean, through last years it have improved a lot, I mean the service, but in terms of price for railways it's not cheap at all. And you know, it's almost the state monopoly of railways in Russia, and you can imagine how big the infrastructure is, and all the buildings around, they belong to Russian railways. And this is the Moscow skyscraper. You see?
Красные ворота. Следующая
It's
остановка
not the biggest
проспект
one,
Академика
but
Сахарова.
anyway,
Пожалуйста, при входе
all of them
предупредите
are quite
техническую или
high.
социальную карту в валидатор. Убедитесь, что на валидаторе загорелся зеленый сигнал.
And
Спасибо.
there is
Приятной
the
поездки.
star on the top.
Будьте вежливы. Уступайте места инвалидам, пожилым людям, пассажирам с детьми и беременным женщинам.
That is one more Moscow skyscraper. That one is the hotel. The hotel, and it's called Leningradsky Hotel. You can see it by here. The star. Almost all the Moscow skyscrapers, they have stars on the top, and the Spiel, we call it in Russian, but I'm not aware of the name for Spiel in English. It's
Проспект
like the
Академика Сахарова.
sharp top of the building. It's another ministry, we see it, and it's the Ministry of Agriculture. Actually,
Следующая остановка
I never
Большая
noticed
Спасская
that
улица. Во
this
время
is
поездки
the Ministry
держитесь
of
за помощь.
Agriculture.
Для вашей безопасности рекомендуем не передвигаться по салону при движении транспорта. Дождитесь его остановки.
It looks like the period of architecture. We call it constructivism. Constructivism was not even popular. It began, I guess, in 20s of the 20th century. So I see the traffic jam. Maybe it was not a good idea to go by bus, as I don't want to be late to my class. But let's see. I hope that no, 10 minutes it's not enough to get to the place. Maybe I will be late. Anyway, I cannot change anything, so enjoy the way with me. By the way, just in 1 minute, I will show you one of the most beautiful building in Moscow, and it's a hospital. It was built, I guess, 200 years ago by mecenat and a rich person for poor people. At that time, there was no public hospital for poor people, and the guy, he left his wife, who was not a noble woman. Her name or her surname, not her original surname, but anyway, she took surname as the actress in the Mansion Theater. She was a servant, and that rich guy, I forgot his name and his surname. He got married with her and they were happy. But several years ago, she died. So he decided to build a hospital and to invest in it. And still, it's the building belonging to the hospital, surgery, and there are some other buildings, the same hospital, but this building is the original one. So maybe
Большая Спасская улица.
maybe sometime you've heard about the hospital. It's called the Institute of Sklifosovsky. Sklifosovsky was the famous surgeon, and this hospital has the is called in the honor of him. There are many buildings. There are many buildings in the complex of Sklifosovsky Institute. Oh, I confused the building, and it will be in a minute. I mean the Sklifosovsky Institute Hospital. You will see how beautiful it is, and the architecture. As there is a traffic jam still, and that's why I confused the streets. Please let me know if you can hear me, as it's quite noisy in a bus, but not that noisy as in old buses. So this is Sklifosovsky Institute, one of the buildings, and the main building, beautiful one, is this one. You see, it's in round architecture, and the yard is in round form. In light gray color, and the church in the center of the main building. Still we are in the traffic jam. We are stuck, and I'm getting nervous as I will be late, unfortunately, to get to the class, theater class. It was a bad idea to go by bus at this hour, at this time. But you have a chance to see Moscow from famous B-rout. B small insect route around Sadovoe rim. Have a look at my embroidery. I like embroidery a lot. By the way, I started this stream 40 minutes ago, and I guess that we took a bus 35 minutes ago. So it's quite long for this distance. It's all because of the traffic jam. Usually we have more traffic jams before the Easter, around Easter days, and before the May holidays. Probably you know that traditionally it's the tradition from the Soviet Union time that we have some days, public holidays during the first dates of May, and the first set of them, they are connected with the 1st of May. It's the day of labor, and the 9th of May is the Victory Day, you see? Beautiful. It's a big avenue, and my home is right there. I guess that it's just 5 minutes left to get out of the bus, but it's already 7 p.m. 7 p.m. By the way, do you know the company called MTS? Do you have any idea of what MTS is about? Please write it down in the comment section. So again, we are stuck in the traffic jam, unfortunately, and it's just 1 kilometer left to get out of the bus on the nearest bus station closest to the new opera theater. Let's see. I feel ashamed. I feel ashamed that I will be so late. And by the way, I was in time when I left my office, as I work also in the city center, and it takes only half an hour to get to the theater from my office. So it's unexpected time for this destination. Let's see. Again, some old buildings. wedding dresses. Wedding dresses.
Мещанская улица. Следующая остановка – Самотечная площадь. Во время поездки не стоит
If
переночевать
you watch
в
this
месте.
stream
Также
in
рекомендуется
recording,
безопасность
please
водителя.
write
Держите
down
водителя.
what country are you from
Сохраните середину салона.
and have you ever been to Moscow? And what do you think of the architecture of the city in terms of rings? I mean, not all cities around the world they are structured as the ring structure. There are a lot of rings around Moscow. We have at least 4 of them. First, Boulevard ring, then this Sadovoe ring or garden ring, then we call it, but it's just like a highway, third ring, and third ring, and the fourth ring is MCAD ring. It's around the whole city. And just a couple of years ago, they built the fifth ring, and it's also for cars, not for pedestrians. So 5 rings and one more ring far away from Moscow, in Moscow region. It's quite far away, but anyway, it's a ring. By the way, last 2 times when I was visiting the lessons in the new opera theater lessons, I liked them a lot, and I mean myself and other participants, we were told quite interesting information by the director and the leader or a teacher who teaches us. He's not just a director, a real theater director, but he is the main theater director. He even manages other directors of the new opera theater. So it's quite respectful. Dear friends, I'm upset. I'm upset that I'm too late. Okay, probably I will disconnect right now as I need to write down the message to the organizers that I am late more than 10 minutes, unfortunately. This is one more boulevard. It's connected with the Цветной Boulevard. Цветной Boulevard, I showed you last time where the circus is situated. Two bus stops left. One of them is the theater of Sergei Obraztsov, I showed you last time. And next one is mine. But still there are traffic lights, red. They don't Let us go and proceed our way. I am ashamed.
Самотёкиная площадь.
Beautiful Moscow weather.
Следующая остановка театр кукол имени Образцова.
Did you hear? Театр кукол имени Образцова. It means the puppetry theater in honor of Sergei Obraztsov. Actually, Sergei Obraztsov established the puppetry theater. You see, Matryoshka? Again, beautiful buildings. The building of puppetry theater. Unfortunately,
Театр кукол
it
имени
doesn't
Образцова.
have the sculpture of Sergei Obraztsov. Unfortunately, we don't have
Каретный ряд.
famous clock, mechanical clock on the front wall of the theater. It was one of the most famous clock around the Soviet Union when I was a child. But they are on the reconstruction right now. I mean, the clock. The clock on the front wall of puppetry theater, they're big and they have several animals from Russian fairy tales. Okay, guys, it's 10 minutes past 7 right now, and just in a minute, together with you, we will go out of the bus. Next bus stop is ours. I need to write down the message. Okay. I hope they will open the doors to me.
Каретный ряд.
So it took us 50 minutes to come here. Actually, if there were not traffic jams, it might take us just 30 minutes. But you see a lot of cars. A lot of cars along the Sadovoe ring. We have come from that side, and as you see, it's the external side of the ring, and that one, I mean that side, is internal. We call it internal side of the ring. It's long time that we need to wait for the light. We can go. So just for your information, I'm 15 minutes late to the lesson. It's not good, but anyway, what can I do? Next time I will go by metro because it's guaranteed time to get to any place in Moscow by metro. You can imagine that not in all places or not in all areas there are metro stations, and sometimes you need combine metro with other public transport, but metro is the best. So next time I will take metro, but today I've showed you the route, famous route around Sadovoe ring. So this is the building of theater. By the way, Evgeny Kolobov established the Moscow New Opera Theater. I'm going inside it. It's located in a beautiful, cozy park called Hermitage in the center of Moscow. And you see the windows, how beautiful it is. So we have a class there. And at this moment, I need to say you goodbye. Bye bye. Stay tuned. Thank you for joining. Have a wonderful evening.